If you look at post offices, banks, restaurants, any place where money is taking place or being exchanged, there's an opportunity if somebody has a gambling problem to steal.
Let's pretend we're in a family. You have a dad, you have the mom. Let's just for fun say it's the mother who's become a gambling addict. Tell us about what's happening in that family with food money disappearing, cash disappearing, conflict between husband, treatment of kids. What's happening here?
Well, first of all, the wife is probably very, very nervous, upset, uptight about trying to cover the fact that she spent the money. She's very concerned about where she's going to get the money to replace it. She's tapping friends and family to borrow the money to at least get food in the house. When the children are asking for food, she's not real happy. Okay, the husband and wife are fighting and arguing because he doesn't know where she's going.
Is she using drugs?
She may or may not be. Co-occurring disorders are very common with gamblers.
More common than the general population?
Yes.
By a large factor.
You can trade one addiction for another in a heartbeat.
I'll tell you the tough part of this. If I were a woman and married and I went through this scenario and I'm gambling because I got turned on by the idea and now I don't have any money, that sounds like a tough thing to get out of because you don't have the cash injection because you're not going to win it at the table. And your family isn't going to give you any more money because you've already borrowed as much as you can. You've tapped out all your credit sources. You're kind of in a desperate state of mind. What happens then?
Well, you may be embezzling money also if you're working. So what happens after somebody hits rock bottom? They may.
That's why we have the statistic that they're more likely to commit suicide. Right. They get to a place where they are hopeless, they're desperate, they feel guilty, they are panic-stricken, and there's no place to go.
Have you talked with people like this?
We have them. We have hundreds of people in the gambling recovery program, and each one has a story.
What's their primary emotion when they come for help?
Panic and guilt.
Panic and guilt.
Guilt is overwhelming.
Life's a journey. Getting into trouble with gambling is a journey. It's step by step, and then so is getting out. There's step by step of getting out. What are the steps to get out?
Reach out and ask for help. That's the very first thing. Gamblers are very isolated. Gambling is an isolated activity. They don't want anybody with them to distract them from their gambling and figuring out where to go. All right, once they realize what they've done, okay, that they actually have spent the family fortune, they've stolen money or whatever, okay, and they're desperate, and just to reach out and ask for help. They are hopeless. They don't think there's anything that can help them. And if you can just reach out to one person, or if they see the helpline number on a wall and they call it, that gives them hope that maybe somebody has an answer for them.
Is there a national gambling hotline or a New York gambling hotline?
There's
number?
both.
Yes.
What are those?
I don't know them by heart. I can tell you what our local phone number is, and that's 716-883-1914.
And that's in Buffalo, New York.
And that's in Buffalo. And if you call Niagara County, you'll get the same
So you could Google online. Everybody pretty much is online these days. And you just tap in
gambling recovery.
Helpline, gambling helpline, and you can call.
And New York State will pop up and the national. The way it works is if you call the national, you might get referred to either our agency or the New York State hotline. But eventually, in this region, you will come to Jewish Family Service.
Yes.
Early steps on help with gambling addictions provided today by Jewish Family Service. We'll be right back. Dave Kettlewell back with more on gambling addictions, thanks to Jewish Family Service. What's the organization again?
Jewish Family Service.
And your mission is?
Our mission is helping people through transition and adversity.
Okay, and the programs you have are available to everybody regardless of religion or race or age or any of those things.
Ability to pay.
Okay, great. I'm sure the people appreciate this help. No laughing matter in a family when you have somebody who's addicted to gambling. Many of the principal needs we have in life for food and housing and security go out the window as people become addicted to gambling. First step to recovery. By the way, we recognize that there are people who are watching this show right now. You're going through these problems. boy, it's got to be tough, but there's always solutions to everything in life. Let's talk about those early steps to finding the solutions to gambling addictions.
Talk to someone. Tell someone your problem. Tell someone you're a gambler. You need help. You can't stop gambling by yourself.
You have to stop gambling?
Absolutely. You have to stop gambling. It's the only way.
Some people just don't think they can do that.
But they can.
They can. It's very hard, but they can do it.
How do you help somebody stop gambling?
We tell them to keep money at a distance. All right, don't carry large wads of money in your pocket. Only carry enough money for one day's needs. Your lunch money, coffee money. Take your gas card and put gas in the car and give the card to your wife.
Do you have an estimate of what the average daily losses are for a true gambling addict in their prime of activity?
It varies. It depends how much money you have.
Right, so there's a number of people who are very wealthy and still have a gambling problem. So it doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is.
Do the gambling casinos themselves take a role in helping people with gambling addictions at all?
They're taking more steps. There is a way where if a gambler can self-exclude himself or herself from the casino.
So they have some voluntary ways that they can support somebody in quitting gambling.
Yes.
But it's also very difficult for the casino to monitor that. So you still have to have a willingness and be committed to stopping before you cross the threshold again to go into the casino.
If you broke the law to get money to gamble, you stole from the company or you stole from somebody or whatever else you might have done, you have to face the consequences for those illegal actions, I'm assuming.
Yes, you do.
But the court will take into mind, or at least into consideration, that this is an addict.
Hopefully.
And it might not be treated as roughly as another
Hopefully.
situation.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Let's talk about additional steps in the recovery process. Do you need to go into treatment?
Yes, you definitely need to go into treatment. Also, Gamblers Anonymous is a self-help group that is run by gamblers, and they are a wonderful support to treatment. And it's a wonderful support for the gambler to find out that they're not different, they're not alone.
Let's switch gears and talk about the other side now, the family of the gambling addict. You're watching dad, or in this case, mom. She doesn't come to the school events anymore. You don't have any money for the things that you need at the household. She's not really focused on your needs at the present time. If you're a kid, 8 years old to 15 years old, how are you going to deal with this problem in the household and get through this situation? And do you talk to your mom and say, hey, I think you're a gambling addict? I mean, families know what's going on somewhat. I mean, they realize a little bit sometimes. How do you survive as a kid?
Depends how old you are.
Right, but I think
say 8 to 15.
I think initially kids start to try and compensate and try to hide what their parent is doing.
That isn't going to work.
No, but they're kids, and you're placing a big adult responsibility on a child. So I think maybe a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old with siblings might try and make meals and put them on the table for their brothers and sisters.
Do gambling addicts tell their kids, don't tell anybody mommy's got a problem, this is all within our family, so it's that secrecy thing like we see in child abuse? Same dynamic?
Absolutely,
Doctor?
Especially if they're borrowing the money from the child's piggy bank.
Oh, so they're taking money from the kids too, the savings.
Oh yes, college funds are gone, school funds are gone, clothing funds are gone.
How do families respond when they find that a family member has decimated the family finances to the point where they're knocked out financially?
They're devastated.
They're devastated. Yes, it's absolute devastation. And if you are an older gambler, or a senior citizen or approaching that age, you don't have any way to make it up.
What do you do if you are the spouse of someone with a gambling addiction? How do you manage that?
We recommend that spouses gather the family around, all right, and encourage the gambler to seek help. Tell them that they have a problem. Don't use accusatory language.
What's accusatory language?
For more Medical Matters television shows, go online to medicalmatters.tv.